Hi, and welcome to Science Time with Miss Victoria. Now, this program is recommended for ages 6 and up, but as always, it does depend on the science or STEM activity or experiment that we are doing, okay? So let's go ahead, as always, and begin. Now, remember to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds before you gather supplies, do anything for the experiment. You can go to a YouTube page or Facebook, whichever you prefer. In there, I do have a video where I wash my hands to the rhyme of Ferris Jacques. What you're going to do is once you have soap, get some water, you're going to wash your hands. You're going to do top and bottom, in between, rub them all together, and you're going to do that slow, and you're going to repeat that fast a second time. That should come out to about 20-25 seconds. Make sure your hands are nice and dry. And the next thing we need to do is to gather our supplies. Let's hold off for a quick second. We don't know what we're doing yet. The last thing we need to do is to have adult supervision just in case. Now, some of these experiments, you're going to need the adult present so they can help you gather the supplies, set up the experiment or activity, and of course, it's always just nice to have an adult present to help you out to actually do the experiment. It's also fun for everybody, all right? So let's go ahead and jump right into it, find out what we're going to be doing and what supplies we're going to need. All right, we are going to be gathering supplies for tin foil boat. All right, now this is very quick and simple. It's the only 4 things you need. And all of these should be around your house. We're going to be testing pretty much like your density. This is going to be our, not science experiment, but this is a STEM one, okay? So we are going to need aluminum foil or tin foil. Some people just call it tin foil, which I have some right here. This is all some pre-cut. A large container, so you can do a container like I have here. You can do a container kind of like the one I have here, which is holding the water, which is one of the things we need. You can just have one like this. You just need it big enough for the experiment. And of course, we need pennies, and you're probably wondering why. Well, once we get into the steps, I will explain more as to why we need pennies. So in that case, let's go right into our steps. Okay, now first you're going to do is when you have your foil, you're going to go ahead and just tear out a sheet of it, stretch it out. What you want to do is to cut it into about 5 to 6 inch square pieces, just like this. If you have a ruler or a measuring tape around, you might want to grab that just in case. So you can measure it out, so that way it's about 5-6 inches. Now, you can just kind of eyeball it. You just want to make sure that it is in a square. That's the main thing we need to do. So tear out a nice good size sheet. Maybe you want to measure my container here and just pull it out, tear it, and then tear out as many as you can get from that sheet, 5 to 6 inch square pieces. Set them aside, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to give your child the square. And what you're going to do is you're going to invite them to go ahead and use imagination, and they're going to create a boat. Now, the goal for this, you have to make sure to explain, the goal for this is the fact that they need to create a boat that's going to float. That's one thing. And 2 is also going to be able to hold pennies. Okay? Now, when you have a boat, the boat, in case, once it's complete, I'm going to do an example, one I already have pre-done. What you're going to do now is you're going to put it in the container that I've already filled mine with water. So you'll get your water, pour it into your container unless you're using this. And now you're gonna go ahead and place your boat. Now if it floats, great. Yes, we got it on the first try. Now don't be discouraged, because if it doesn't float, you might have to change the design. Like I have this second one here and I decided to do it a different shape. And you can test that. Oh, that one floats. And we can continue, okay? So don't be discouraged when you put your boat in, if it doesn't work the first time, hey, give mom or dad, whatever adult is with you, y'all can work this out. You might want to get some more sheets that you have left over, add it to the boat you have, or just use the extra pieces to create a whole different design and test it. Once you have a boat that floats, then we can move on to the next step. Now, what we're going to do now on the next step is you're going to get some pennies. And what we're going to do is going to go ahead and put a penny on each one. Now, here's a good thing. If you have a piece of paper nearby and a pencil, you might want to go ahead and count how many pennies you put in there. Because you want to see how many pennies we could put on there that the boat still stays afloat. Because if it sinks, then the experiment's done. And then you can count. You can count afterwards if you want. It's up to you, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start with 1 penny in each boat. So far, so good. We're still good. We're on 3 pennies so far. 4, still good. I think I'm gonna stop at 5, but so far it looks good on each one. Yeah. So I put 5 pennies in each one of my boats and they're still floating. What you can do is go ahead, if you have more pennies, you can go ahead and add more. Now if you only had 10, that's fine. You can do it all in one boat and test it. And then test the 10 pennies and do it on the different design, okay? Now, what you do, you're gonna want to go ahead, once it's done, if your boat did sink, now's the time to rescue your boat. You'll just go ahead and take it out and take the pennies that are out of it as well. And you can go ahead and crumble the foil, throw it away, or use the foil to make a different design and just start all over. Okay? So this is a fun experiment. The whole thing is to go ahead and test to see the density, see if it floats or sinks your boat. And of course, if it does sink, the redesign, you have to go back, redesign it. If it floats, add the pennies. It sinks. This boat design sank at, let's say, 10 pennies. This one didn't sink till 15. Maybe it's the design. Maybe it's the fact that this one is bigger and I spread out the weight of the pennies so that it was still able to stay afloat as opposed to just putting all the pennies in the center. There's several variables. This is a nice, fun STEM activity that you can change the amount of pennies, you change the design, the results are going to be constant change. It's something that you can do fun. You might even, instead of pennies, do dimes, nickels. Change it if you want. So try it, let me know, make a comment if you want. You can also post a picture, see how many pennies that your boat took. All right? Now, as always, I'm going to go ahead and provide you with some library resources. So here they are. Okay, now on this side, right where it's all blue, the top 2 are in STEM activities for kids, which is similar to the one I just did today. And of course, STEM as always stands for science, technology, engineering. If it has an A for STEAM, it's going to be arts, and then of course, mathematics. These are 2 you can find on our website. Go to cctexas.com/library, go to the library catalog, and you can place these on hold, pick them up curbside, pick them up inside your branch. You can also just show up to the library, come inside, and of course, just pull it off the shelf and check it out. Now make sure you do know your library's opening hours and of course their curbside hours as well. And the last one down here is just science experiments, so you can just search and put science experiments and you should come up with this one, which is 365 weird science experiments. Now if you prefer to use a smart device or your laptop and you want an electronic book, we do have our 2 online digital resources, Access 360 and Hoopla. These 2 right here are doing a Maker's Lab with cool science experiments, and this one's also dealing with science and it has fun facts and quizzes that the kids can do dealing with science. If you haven't already, if you're on our website, go to Digital Resources, click on either one of these, and you can, if you're a new user, follow the steps for a new user. If you need help, call a branch and they can help you. If you're doing it on your smart device, go to your app store and search Access 360 or Hoopla, and you can just download that app and then of course follow the steps as a new user. Alright? Now, as always, I want y'all to remember to check out our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Corpus Christi Public Libraries. There you can find all the videos that the branches are providing. You can also go to our website, cctexas.com/library, click on virtual programming, and there will also be a breakdown of the different programs we're having. Now, if you're not seeing all of them, you might want to go directly just to our YouTube channel to catch them. Okay? Sometimes they might not be on our site, but they are on the YouTube channel. Okay? Now, if you need help finding any science experiments or STEM activities for the kids that they want to do different ones, go to our website. I want you to go ahead and try to use our new book alerts, author check, and of course book newsletter to help you out and find you some books. Place them on hold, pick them up curbside. You know the drill. But if you prefer online, we have an ebook, so in case any spills, any clothes, you can wipe it off real quick. Don't forget those 2 online digital resources, Access 360 and of course Hoopla. And as always, I will see you next time. Bye.